Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Easter. Will, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. It's Easter and it's a Sunday. That intro music still bops, by the way. And we
Yeah,
are here for the weekly power rankings.
I want that intro longer. We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna talk it out and make that intro a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, folks, it is Easter. I hope the Easter Bunny has been good to everybody. We are back for another edition of the weekly power rankings. We're on a little bit early this week, just because it's Easter and we got shit to do. But other than that, I hope everyone's happy, healthy, and safe. And we're going to run you through the week in wrestling. If you haven't been here before, we rank the 6 shows. That's the two AEW, the two the 3 WWE and the 1 Impact Wrestling that we cover for the watch parties. We take the fan votes, take the fan opinions, our opinion, and we rank them out of 6, 1 to 6. So we're going to take you through that countdown quick. We'll give you a little bit of review and why they ended up where they are on this chart. But yeah, with that's what we got. It was an interesting week in wrestling, Will.
Yeah, I mean, lots worthy of criticism. There were some good moments, some but and some just absolute shit. So that's what seems to happen every week. But this has been like kind of more interesting and a lot more opinion based. It was kind of hard to rank this week.
A little tricky, a little tricky. I mean, we had a little bit of fluctuation, but we'll see how this chart works out or this countdown works out, and we'll get right into the reviews of the show. So, without further ado, number
Number
6,
6.
and we'll see how this turns out. But number 6 this week, just like last week. Now, last week they had an excuse. This week they don't have an excuse. But Impact Wrestling comes in sixth spot. Will.
Yeah, and it was weird because um normally they don't have that many promo packages and so many commercials and shit like that, but this week's Impact, it was just sort of meh, and it was just like commercials after commercials after commercials.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, we started out with good old Morrissey, aka well FKA, Big Cass, coming out, and then we had Brian Myers, FKA Kurt Hawkins. They got in a little bit of a brawl, and then Matt Cardona and Chelsea got involved as well. So that was a decent way to open the show.
Yeah, no, we started the show on a good note. I think Morrissey's doing a great job. I think he's big, he's imposing, he's good with the mic, actually, surprisingly. He's had this ongoing thing with Myers for a while now. And then somehow Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona kind of got involved. But yeah, it wasn't a bad start to the show.
Yeah, and oh, what happened after that? I gonna need LJ.
We got Deanna Perrazzo in the Champ Challenge, Willow Nightingale. Yeah,
It was predictable. We all knew the champ was gonna go home with that. There was really no way that Willow was taking that.
yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. It was, by the way, Thomas, happy Easter and happy Easter to all the fans out there. Thank you for spending any time with us, especially on a holiday. So it's good to see the folks kicking in. Yeah, to your point, it just wasn't, the match itself wasn't great. Willow didn't bring a whole lot to the table. And with that, we quickly moved on to Rocky Romero, Jonathan Gresham, another kind of predictable match. Wasn't
Yeah, because
great.
it was clear that Gresham was going to Battle of the Belts to face Dalton Castle, so it was like,
Yeah.
well, geez, I wonder who's gonna win this one.
Right. Then we got a hype package all night long. We got this hype package for Moose and Josh Alexander. And I get that they're trying to build this as like the biggest match in Impact Wrestling history, I guess. I don't know. But it was a lot of packages.
Yeah, no, it seemed like they took a page out of WWE's book with just package after package after package, and it was like, why? Why do we need this, right? So
Yeah,
it was super unnecessary.
yeah, I remember asking the chat, like, is there a COVID issue? Is there a protocol issue happening at Impact? Why are we missing? it just felt like we were missing people. But then when you looked at the card, a lot of people were there. So I don't know what the hell happened. We got Macklin and Shelley in a match. It was all right. Shelley's with a bit of a surprising win.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have much to say about that one. So I don't think I was there for that match.
Yeah, and then we got a brawl. We got the Bullet Club comes out, Honor No More. They get into it. People everywhere. It wasn't a match. It was just a fight.
And then
And
PCO and Jonah got involved. Big beefy boys slapping meat, as people would say. So
now I've liked this rivalry between PCO and Jonah. Jonah being the beast, and PCO being the Frankenstein that can't be put down. So this has continued. It wasn't great though this time. I think maybe we've seen it too much. We
yeah,
were
maybe.
Yeah, but all of a sudden there was a brawl, and then it broke into a match, and then the brawl we forgot about the brawl. Yeah, there was some good moments. Um, Again, they've lent well to the fact that PCO is not human, and you can't keep him down. But at some point, you're making Jonah look bad. If you're trying to get Jonah over, he's got to put this man out of his misery.
That is true. And yeah, and that was kind of it, wasn't it?
That was it. That was the main event. Like, that's why this
Yeah.
kind of comes in at. Oops, my knuckle hit that. But yeah, the Impact comes in the bottom. Like I said, last week they did a repeat, so they were sixth, and this week they might as well have done a repeat, so they stay sixth.
Yeah, no, it was, and all the matches they had, they were predictable. They were meh. They were all right, not tear the house down. And
Mhm.
the packages sort of ruined it for everybody. So yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
hear
why
you.
it's number 6.
So with that, we'll move on to number 5 this week.
Number
Boom.
5. Oh, and
NXT 2.0.
yeah, this was an interesting one. I think they called it Championship Tuesday
Yes.
because we had 3 title matches. 3?
Yes, we did have 3 title matches. Not
Yeah.
of any consequence, unfortunately for them. The average rating for this show was about a 4.
Yeah, and I think it was because of the predictability, and we've had so many new champions on NXT already. With Cameron Grimes and
Mhm.
Toxic Attraction and blah blah blah. I think it was Cameron Grimes and Solo Sikoa,
Mhm.
which a lot of people wanted Sikoa to win this
Yes.
because of his old bloodline thing, but it seems like they have more plans for Cameron. Maybe a little thing with Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo came out after and attacked Cameron, held that championship high. I don't even know if we kicked off with that, but I just went ahead of myself. But
We pretty
uh,
much kicked off with that. I mean, we had a bit of a chit chat. Yeah, that was the basis of it. Um, yeah, there wasn't much. Cameron feels like I don't know if he's going to keep that belt for more than a minute.
who knows? I mean, if they put it back on Carmelo, if they give it to Solo Sikoa, I wouldn't complain. And I've been a fan of Cameron Grimes for quite a bit, but if he's just going to be a transitional champ, I'm not going to really complain. But
Okay. Then we got into, I mean, Trick and Carmelo screwed this all up, and who cares? And Solo takes another loss. I mean, he's losing a little too much. And then we got into Joe Gacy. I always want to call him John. Joe Gacy burning Rick Steiner's Hall of Fame ring. I thought it was stupid. I thought all of it was just cheap, lazy Bray Wyatt shit.
yeah, it's sort of like, hey, let's be personal so that way you can beat my ass and be angry and shit like that. It's like, we don't need this really. And
Hmm.
why are you referencing his family roots? Like, it's all just ironic that the Steiners are now part of the Hall of Fame, that now they reference that Braun Breaker's a Steiner. And we've had this problem for quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it's been well, I mean, we talked about this, right? Like Braun Breaker comes out the ring and his dad was kidnapped, and he was just like, well, my dad's home now. And we're like, okay, nobody cares.
Nobody saw how he escaped or
Like,
like got saved or something. Like,
yeah, like, what
did,
did you pay the ransom?
did they
What
let him
happened?
go? Like,
Yeah, it was just garbage, hot garbage, to be honest. Then we got Von Wagner against Ikemen Jiro. That was
yeah, who
again
cares?
shit. Yeah, who cares? We don't even have to talk about that. Then we got to NXT. I will say the one thing I will say is Von Wagner's got something. He's a big guy. He's a great heel. I actually think he gave credibility to Robert Stone. Robert Stone seems like a pretty good manager for Von Wagner. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Who cares? But NXT Women's Champion Chip, Mandy Rose, Dakota Kai.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone thought Dakota was taking this. Mandy has been dominant, and if anybody, it's going to be against Cora Jade and all that. So, yep, Wendy Chu tried getting involved, but it failed. Mandy retains, and then s- like Super Soaker or whatever, like she sprayed water guns on Toxic Attraction. They're acting like they're on fire.
Yeah, I'm melting. I'm
It's just
melting.
water. I laughed my ass off when I saw that. It's like, bro, it's just water. It's not like it's a beer truck. It's
Yeah.
water guns. You never got hit by water guns before?
Right. The perfect transition. We got Cora Jade. Natalia makes her presence felt at NXT 2.0, the next WWE superstar to seem to go down and cause some trouble. And she was smiley and happy and teary eyed, and then she was typical Natalia. Smashed this little girl, and looks like we're gonna get a bit of a rivalry where Natty can put over Cora Jade for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, Natalia doesn't have anything going for her. She was shoehorned into the tag division with Shayna Baszler, and now if anybody's going to put this little girl over and make it look believable, it could be Natalia.
Right. Yeah. And then so Natalia put her in the sharpshooter. Then we moved on. We got Zion Quinn, Draco Anthony. They got in a locker, they were at the lockers between classes and they got a bit of a, I guess, a reason to fight. They're kind of friends, but not. This was real short and didn't really matter.
Yeah, no, I don't even care for this. I don't know why they're trying to make us care.
Hmm. Then we went into the gauntlet match, the main event. And this to me is partly why this finished in fifth spot this week, one of the worst shows of the week, why the fans rated it low. We didn't get a whole lot leading into this, but I hate gauntlet matches. And I particularly hate these
Yeah.
gauntlet matches. And this one was as predictable as the rest. We got one team breaking through each round, and then the sixth team that comes in or the fifth team, whatever it was. Fuck, it felt
I
like
think it was
10 team,
6th.
six team comes in and steals the win. Like it was so cookie cutter. It was so done before, and now we have
Yeah.
new champions and pretty deadly.
Yeah, and that was weird. This was Pretty Deadly's first match as part of the NXT 2.0 brand, and they're the champions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why couldn't you have Pretty Deadly come in, be the ones to break through all these teams, and then have the Creed steal it? So that way Pretty Deadly would be like, we dominated through the gauntlet and all that. And you could have the Creed brothers who have been built like animals to become champions.
Yes. No, it was a really kind of weird way to take it. And again, you've been building the Creed brothers up. Again, the team that comes in third or fourth can win one of these gauntlet matches. It doesn't have to be the first or last team. Every time it's the first or last team that gets the W. And I don't necessarily think it plays well. And we all kind of knew where it was going to go. The fans, like I said, ranked NXT 2.0 around a 4 out of 10. So here we are.
Oh, and we forgot to mention this whole rivalry between Persia, Dexter,
Oh, fuck.
what's his face? They're a tag team now. They
Yeah.
have no payoff, no mixed tag, no nothing.
No,
They're
no
just,
payoff. They're just like, shit, dude, let's just get along.
yeah, we love each other now. We're one big happy family.
Oh, Christ. We're over it after weeks of stupidity.
Yeah.
So,
Number 4.
number 4 this week, folks. And I mean, there wasn't much else to say about number 5. And let us know in the chat whether you're watching this live or recorded, how you feel. What do you think? And we'll go from there. But
Yeah.
number 4, Monday Night Raw, down one spot from 3,
Yeah, and,
or up one spot from 5. Sorry.
yeah, up one spot from 5.
uh,
Monday Night Raw, I mean, not much to really say about main roster shows at this point, but,
yeah,
yeah, it's weird to see Raw not on number 6, just goes to show the weird week we've had.
right. So,
Normally, people love with these Impact and NXT shows.
mhm. So I mean, the overall ranking for Raw was about a 6. Um, anything of note that happened? We got we got not much. We
Yeah,
started the show
no,
with Miss TV, Cody Rhodes recap, then we kicked it off. The segment ended with Rhodes.
but may the best man win,
Yeah,
pretty much, even
and
though
I
we should have
actually,
just had the match. Yeah.
yeah, we should have just had the match. We had the guys in the ring in their suits, and to set up a match for later, fine. But let's just start the match. Get in the ring. You're not building a big angle with this. Actually, I think the Miz would be a good angle for Cody, but they're not doing it. So why are we wasting our time? Let's get to the fight.
Yeah, and it was already announced that Cody Rhodes was facing Seth Rollins at Backlash, so
Yeah.
we all know he's not facing The Miz, he's facing Seth. So,
I don't know if you noticed, but Cody Rhodes, now that he's in WWE, his AR for his entrance, it's a lot. It's a lot of USA and logos, and they got to dial that back a little. It's a little in your face.
yeah, and Pyro as well. Like, I saw a lot of memes where Bobby Lashley was gonna come out, and then a lot of people were like, "Oh, Bobby Lashley doesn't have any pyro because they used it all for Cody."
Right? So the night kicks off as far as the in-ring action goes with the one, the only Veer Mahan squashing Dominic Mysterio. Not much to talk about on this one, Will.
No, it was very predictable. It was supposed to be Rey Mysterio, but I guess Rey had, like, some emergency, so it was just like, "Nah, you're gonna face the kid, and he's gonna be squashed."
Yep, and sent him to the hospital. He hospitalized young Dominic because
Yep,
Dominic should not be wrestling grown ass men.
that is true. Send him to NXT. We've said it for weeks.
Now they followed that up with AJ Styles, Damian Priest, and
This was weird. Like
it was weird. It was
they they
weird.
they had a decent match, right? And then the lights go out, and we think like well, maybe it's a new member of Edge's faction. Maybe Edge is gonna be there. No, Damien's just laughing and something, and Styles is gone. And then boom, commercial break. And then we
Yeah,
go back from commercial, and the match is over.
yeah. We just went. It was over. There was no pin. There was no roll up. There was
Count out.
no count out. No interference. No new member. Nothing. Will.
Yeah, and then we come back from commercial. AJ Styles is like, "Man, I don't even know what the fuck just happened."
Yeah. It was like they're trying to do the House of Black gimmick, and a couple people said they're doing it better, but I don't know. Better doesn't mean no
No.
sense. At least Malachi kicks people in the head and then disappears.
That's true. Like, I don't know what the hell that was. We were just sitting there all confused.
Yeah, and just beam me up, Scotty. Goodbye. From that, we went into Miz and Cody. Finally, we get the matchup. This wasn't bad. It wasn't a great. It was all right. It was not bad.
Yeah, Cody obviously took the W, and yeah, it was announced WrestleMania Backlash. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Part 2, they call it.
Part 2 already.
Yeah. Hopefully there's no trilogy, but I'm still down to see these guys fight, especially now that Rollins will know he's facing Cody this time.
Yeah, I mean, at least we know who he's facing. But again, I don't know exactly know if this is the best angle for Cody. I almost think him showing up and going toe to toe with Miz, especially with Miz on the mic and how Miz could be like, "I've been here and you left and you were a crybaby." Really dig in and kind of expose everything that just happened with Cody. But they want Seth. And I disagree.
Yeah, well, better Seth than nobody.
Yeah, right. Then we followed up that not so gem with Liv and Naomi. Who cares, really? I don't.
No,
I don't care what they've done with this.
I don't care either. And I don't know how anybody thinks Rhea and Liv are gonna take it off Sasha and Naomi. You know how overrated Sasha and Naomi are?
Hmm.
They'll make them keep the titles for a little bit longer.
Yep. But it was less than a 2-minute match.
Yeah,
The
what a great way to set up a title match, eh?
Yeah. No, we got all this bullshit and all these promos and all this stuff that doesn't really add to the show. You have a chance to kind of build an angle for your ladies, and we'll give you a 2-minute squash match. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Where do we go from there? We went to Bobby Lashley coming out. He's
VIP
mad.
lounge.
Yeah, he did his own MVP lounge. Do we care?
I don't know. And then MVP is like, I made you. You were with a. I like this line. You were with a wannabe TikTok star before I took you in and made you better, made you the
Uh,
almighty.
uh,
I've fucking popped when I heard that. I was like, yes.
right? So yeah, I mean, we're building that heat. I don't know what we're gonna get out of it. And then we went to Zelina Vega versus Bianca Belair.
Yawn. We all knew Bianca was gonna win that.
This was a yawn altogether. But yeah, this match was nothing special. It was quick. Um, but now we're getting Deville back in the ring. Deville is the new contender for the title.
I don't know what they were thinking. They were like, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Bailey? Is it gonna be Asuka? Nah, it's me. I swerved you all.
Yeah. Now we do have to note this show was supposed to be different. Like there was a lot of shuffling on the card. They advertised a title match for the ladies. That didn't happen. We got a singles match. They advertised the Usos in action for the title. That didn't happen.
Veer and Ray, that didn't happen.
Ray didn't happen. Medical reasons. Yeah. It's a wonky show. And then we get Arcade Bro and the Alpha Academy for like what is this going on? 12 weeks, 13 weeks of this shit?
It's gotta be around there. Like, it's weird.
No, I believe Jesus is more global than just the US. My friend Anthony, happy Easter. We are definitely celebrating Easter. It's one of my favorite
Yes,
holidays because it's full of chocolate and good memories.
that
So
is
there we
true.
go.
Chocolate all day.
Any holiday that brings chocolate and turkey, I'm pretty happy with. Um, where do we go? Where do we go next? I'm all distracted by chocolate. Yeah, that sucked. The whole thing with the Usos, with Riddle and that sucked. There was nothing to it. The same shit. We've watched these poor guys. I don't love the Alpha Academy, but they're growing on me. But here they are. Squash, 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 squash. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the Alpha Academy as much as the next guy, but it's like we all know whenever they're there, they're gonna be squashed or a roll up upset. So
Hmm. And then we went into the Usos versus Street Profits instead of the tag titles.
yeah, you had it right there. You could have been able to do it, but then they probably remembered. Wait, we got a pay per view going on. Let's save it for the pay per view.
Now, this match did have one really good moment that I thought was cool, where Usos were at the commentary and they were arguing with RK Bro, who were still there, not arguing, but in their face. And Montez Ford does a flip and lands it, sticks it, and gives a little shimmy for the tag title, tag champions.
Yeah, and Montez is like a one man highlight reel, so you can't really blame him. But yeah, obviously Usos are gonna take the W. In general, I don't think Vince or Bruce cares about the tag team division. That's why they languish on the main roster. KG and Will.
KG,
KG,
yeah.
your new rap name. It's gonna be KG White.
That's it. But yeah, that's it, man. That was Raw in a nutshell. Not a whole lot. Like I said, fans came in at about a 5-6 on this one. Didn't exactly light up the world. I said it was a mixed bag
Nothing.
of nothing, and I don't know. So we'll quickly move on to part three. Part three, number three on the
Number
countdown.
3.
There we go. That's better. I do believe there we go.
SmackDown.
Holding steady in the middle. They didn't
Yeah,
go up. They didn't go down. They're just in the middle. Fans thought it was like a 6-7. I don't necessarily agree, but it
I
was.
don't necessarily agree either. Like, this show was I don't know what happened with SmackDown this week.
All right, let's talk about it. Where did we start? RK Bro and the Usos. Go figure.
Hooray. Yeah, so much for a brand split, eh? So, yeah, they got challenged to a Champions Unification match. They're like, "Yep, let's do it." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, no, what I found stupid about this whole situation was the we already knew that. Like Roman said, go get those belts. So we automatically assumed that this was happening. They advertised it as if it was happening. And this might be a new thing that the WWE is starting to do a little more. So at some point, they're going to get slapped on the hand for it. But they consistently, like, this is going to happen on Monday. And then it's like a variation of what they said was going to happen. And same with Fridays. And it's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not good for your reputation there, and it's not good for your advertising because you can't do that. False advertising is not a joke.
Yeah, right. WWE seems to just be holding pattern until they build to Hell in a Cell in June, or more Money in the Bank in July. I don't know what they're holding pattern for. I mean,
I don't know.
it's garbage.
Was NXT ranked at number 5? Yes.
Yes. Grasshopper smoking grass was Pat McAfee. Yeah, no, I mean that was it. It was really. Then we went to Naomi versus Rhea Ripley again. The same bullshit, the same mix and match way to build an angle. It's garbage. We got we see two of them on Monday. We see two of them last Friday. We see two of them the week before. Uh, it really sucks.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people say. It's like the same 5 people on both shows over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
This week's been a very good example of that. RK Bro, Usos, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Cody Rhodes, Seth, like all these people.
Yeah, it didn't move along the storyline. It didn't change. Eventually, we're gonna get this tag match. I think the Liv Morgan and Rhea are gonna lose.
Yeah, I think so too. And ugh, I don't know. It's really a shame. Like this week has just sort of been boring, boring, boring.
Yeah, we hate to be negative Nancy on an Easter holiday, but it was a lot of the rankings were pretty like 4s, 5s, 6s for all the shows, with one exception. But we'll get to that. But yeah, people weren't feeling the wrestling a whole lot this week. And primarily because of segments like Madcap Moss and Umberto.
Hooray. What a great way to cement Madcap as a babyface by having him face a jobber.
Pretty much.
Just an excuse to have a kiss cam with a rookie this week.
Hmm. Yeah, pretty much. And the crowd popped because he put the kiss cam on his ass, and so creative. And yeah, it's a rough one. Speaking of rough, we did have this random whole thing with Drew Gulak. Do we want to talk about that quickly?
Poor Drew Gulak. Well, on the tier list, we were like, wait, Drew Gulak is still employed? Like, I think he got released before and then he just came back. But yeah, like Drew Gulak's apparently now this like backstage producer, and Charlotte Flair comes out, puts him in a figure 4, and is like, say you quit, say you quit. Drew
Yeah,
Gulak says, I quit. This is the same guy who had like a 5-star match with Daniel Bryan last year. And now this guy's saying, I quit to Charlotte Flair.
right. Just tapped him out. A lot of people put memes up that was Drew tapping out of his contract. Like, I quit.
I would at this point, I would have went right to Twitter and been like, I want my release.
yeah, I'm done. Like, guys, you're not using me. Now I'm in this weird, like, I'm not even confident about being a interviewer. Like, oh, Adam, did I do good? It's sad for Drew. It's sad for Drew.
Yeah, like,
Um,
if you wanted him to be in an angle, have him be like a trainer, like something like Chad Gable did with Otis, you know? Like, have him be like a trainer for,
mhm,
like, all these jobbers being like,
yeah,
you wanna be better? Here you go." That
right,
was Gulak telling Vince, "I quit."
right. Yeah, I mean, bring back his PowerPoints, and maybe that's what he does. He has a couple of
Yeah.
young wrestlers, and he's like, you know, driving them nuts with his PowerPoint teachings and trying to, make them better wrestlers. But they have no issue. They have no desire, sorry, to mess with this guy. In a disappointing match, one of the more disappointing matches of the week for me was Drew McIntyre versus Sammy again.
And it ended the
And it
same
sucked
way.
again. Yeah,
Sammy runs away.
yeah,
I think this is a way to set them up in a steel cage match sooner rather than later.
feels like it. Feels like it. But they got to do a better job of building this.
Yeah. I mean, we said before, like, we praised this being like, "Oh, Drew McIntyre and Sammy, we're down, something different," but
Mhm.
what a
Well,
way to make us regret that.
right, and next week, Adam Pierce lets us know that we're going to get a lumberjack match, which probably won't work either. And like you said, we're probably heading to a cage match at the end of it all.
Yeah. So,
So
I
there's
don't
not much
know.
else to say there. Then we hit Ricochet and Jinder Mahal for the IC title.
Mm,
This
Ricochet
match
won that. Yeah.
sucked. Yes.
It sucked. Just a way to give Ricochet a title defense so that way he doesn't lose in his first or second one.
Mhm.
And yeah, like you said with I don't know who you said it for, but Cameron Grimes. Like you said for
Mhm.
Cameron Grimes, it seems like Ricochet is going to hold the championship for a little bit. So I won't
Mhm.
give him another month or two with that championship, and then he'll be done.
Yeah, I was actually surprised the number of people, including me, that thought maybe Jinder was going to beat him. We don't trust it anymore. Like they pass that, they pass that belt like a hot potato, and yeesh. But Ricochet is getting a baby face push. He's got the belt, so I'm happy about that. The match itself sucked though.
Yeah, much like a lot of the
Then
matches this week.
yeah, then we got a decent main event: Riddle versus Jimmy Uso. I thought again we were supposed to get the title match. This is setting up the Backlash title match, but this was all right. This was all right for me.
Yeah, well, I like the stuff they're doing with RK Bro and the Usos, but I still think we should have had that match like this week, so that way it can improve your ratings and all that.
Hmm. Yeah, right. One of my favorite moments of the entire week, Will, was somehow, some way, for some reason, our buddy Randy is so excited, so into the moment. He rolls in the ring before the match is over and just starts celebrating. And he's all amped, like, "What am I doing here?" And the ref's still counting the three. But I thought it was a really pure kind of. It shows that Randy Orton at least seems into what he's doing. And a lot of us feel bad for him, but he seems to be enjoying himself.
Yeah, he seems to be having the most fun he's had in his career in a long time.
Right. So we do have that. We did close it out with that, but I thought that was so funny. And anybody who hasn't seen it, look it up. But Orton rolls in the ring and then almost has this moment of like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be here. And then it starts like shuffling, like he's defending or like, it was good. It was good for me.
Yeah, and that RKO from Riddle was alright as well, like, the pop-up one, that
The
was
pop
sick.
up. Dude.
KJ, the one character I think that could work well on the main roster because it's basically a rehash of a character that Vince had in the mid-2000s with Matt Striker is Andre Chase University. Well, they kinda did that with Gulak too, like, "Hey, here's a PowerPoint presentation on the top 10 reasons why you suck." And then it was just dropped. So no, don't expect Andre Chase University to stay, and don't expect the name Andre Chase to stay anytime soon as well.
No, well, yeah, we can't expect the name to stay. We know how fickle that has been. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Obviously, we're getting a unification match. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And I think we all know the direction they're going. Obviously, it will be the Usos taking that, but I think it'll still be a fun match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm safe to predict that the Usos were going to take that belt as well coming up.
So that was SmackDown this week.
That is SmackDown this week. And with that, oh shoot, I already hit the button.
We just spoiled number 2. There's no
There we
point.
go. We just spoiled number 2, so the surprise is ruined. But the number 2 episode or show of the week is Rampage, almost by default at this point.
Yeah.
Rampage wasn't great, did have some great moments, but it was only ranked about a 7 by the fans, 7, 8, a couple 8s, a couple 7s, but it wasn't overly loved either. It just happens to be better than the other shit shows that we got this week.
I think it's just because this is like the more again like this most of this week. It's just like most of the matches on Rampage are predictable. Like
Mm-hmm.
Ruby Soho obviously was gonna beat like the Renegade chick, and the Blackpool Combat Club were gonna beat the Gun Club,
Mm-hmm.
Club. Like
Club Club.
I like what they're doing with Yuta though, and we said this on the podcast. Like
Mm-hmm.
I like what they're doing with Yuta.
I do. I like that they brought him into the mix. I think they've given him an attitude. They give him a chip on his shoulder. He seems pissed off. He seems into it. He's got a belt. Whether you
Yes.
like him or hate him, he's got a belt. Like some people said, well, why would they shine Yuta? You guys can't be picky. You asked them to shine some young guys. They shine some young guys. You know, whether you like the amount of blood or not, I didn't care. I didn't throw up. And I'm not a network exec, so I really don't give a shit. To me, it was, I think it was all right.
Will and KJ, do you guys think the reason why fans get bored of wrestling by the end of the week is because you're basically having one 3-hour show, 32-hour shows, and one 1-hour show? Oh no,
3 2
having
hours.
one 3-hour shows,
Yeah, yeah.
3 2-hour shows, and one 1-hour show. Yes, I think it's just so many hours, so it's just like at the end of the week, it's just like, oh please, no more.
Mhm.
But for us, it's still fun because we get to talk to people and we get to interact with you guys. So
Yeah, no, we have a ball doing. I think the casual fan gets, it's hard to keep up. And if you want to be a fan of everything, so that's where I think you see the diehard WWE fans, the diehard W or AEW fans, because they watch Wednesdays, Fridays. The other guys watch Monday, Fridays. That 3 hour Raw is a monster. They really, really got to consider it. Maybe the brand split coming to an end and being able to stack Monday. Look what and I guess if you haven't surmised yet, but look what they're doing with Dynamite. They're stacking that show every week. Whether you love or hate what they're doing, I'm interested to tune in just to see. Holy shit, this guy's going to fight that guy. It's stacked.
yes, and I love it. And Rampage, I guess it's just like since they overstack Dynamite, they just can't really stack Rampage all that well. But even then, Rampage sometimes they have good moments.
Well, that's what's a little ironic about this one. And this was what it slid into number 2, I think, because of the matches, because of the people who were involved. But the matches weren't great. Like, I mean, the gun the gun club and Blackpool, excuse me, they did well. It was all right, back and forth, good energy. Not great, not bad, pretty good.
Yeah. And what was that main event? Oh, obviously the main event was Hangman Adam Page and Adam Cole in a Texas death match. A lot of people said it was underwhelming,
It was
and yeah, it kind of was. And I mean, we had some handcuffs and we had some
a
this and that.
crown of thorns on Easter.
Yeah.
How
But
dare you?
I definitely wanted Adam Cole to win that.
Yeah, my money was on Adam Cole. I didn't think Paige was going to take it. I haven't loved Paige as a champion. I don't know. There's just something about Paige that he's not quite there for me, where I'm not like, oh, I really need this guy to win, or I'm really behind this guy. He's just kind of meh. I think the problem is you can't keep giving us death matches. And I think talking to the fans on Friday and talking to you guys, everyone was like, oh, it was a death match, but it was a shitty death match. And that's a problem because when you constantly have people running around, like when you got the 4 ladies bleeding and squirting blood, and so when you get the champion in there, he's got to at least outdo what the jobber ladies did, and that's not all just that happen to be a group of semi-jobber ladies because they don't get used. Or a couple weeks ago, you get a couple mid-card guys in some type of no DQ match. It's lazy booking. I'm not stealing that, but it is lazy booking, and it just you know. There's not much to it, and I think it hurt them this week. And you saw that with this main event.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just an excuse since it was like championship week for AEW. They had to have the world title in there a little bit, and seems like in the future we're getting Punk versus Page. So I'm praying that Punk beats Hangman Adam Page, and we have that one last run with CM Punk as world champion. And
Ah, yeah,
Page has been kind of boring as champion, as you
yeah.
said, kind of stale. And I don't understand the hype behind him, but no. Same thing with Jurassic Express, and I know that's a hot take. I'll get to that later, but I'm not really the biggest fan of Jurassic Express as champions.
No, I haven't loved it, and I haven't loved it at all. And I don't know why. I just can't get behind it as much. Red Dragon loses now. Do keep in mind, Will, we have basically Cole and Red Dragon in our fantasy wrestling pool, and they hurt us this week, dropped us down to last place because we lost points across the board on our old buddies from Undisputed Era.
Yeah, and that's a shame. Well, it's now Undisputed Elite. Like we've had a lot of faith on the Undisputed Elite because it's like, wait a minute, Red Dragon one day and then Cole the other day. This could be their chance to fulfill the prophecy. Nope.
Not even close.
Is there such thing as oversaturation for you guys in terms of wrestling? Because you guys even watch New Japan on the weekends and GCW pay-per-views. That's not every weekend.
Yes, there is an oversaturation. But it's been a weird uptick, and because we've been doing the watch parties like for quite a while now. I know this
Yeah.
channel's new, but we've been kicking around before that, and
It's gotta be about 5 months now.
it's been a lot longer than that. I'm coming up to close to a year, like 10 months, 8 months of.
Yeah, I started September, so
There you
yeah.
go.
I think it's around the same time, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not as far as I thought. We're close, but anyway, the point is, um, there is a huge saturation of product out there. GCW's deal with Fight TV has made them accessible, and that's what we do as a channel. Is we got to pick and choose what we cover. Like even last night, we did Battle of the Belts. We did, the New
Windy City
Japan,
Riot.
Win City Riot. But there were other shows on. There were other shows we could have watched, but
Yeah,
for the
there was
matter of,
UFC Fight Night, for God's sakes.
oh, there you go. And we got a UFC Fight Night. Which stay tuned, folks. We got some UFC coming your way.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next pay-per-view, whenever that is.
Coming
Um,
up.
I completely forgot about the Elevation and Dark for AEW on YouTube. Yeah, we don't watch that shit. Well, I don't watch that shit
It
anyways.
doesn't count. To me, that's developmental. We don't a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, they've got 4 wins in a row on Dark." I'm like, "Okay. They got 4 Dark matches. Like, okay, when we move them up, we'll talk about them."
That's for you.
KJ, I think we screwed up. Adam Page was joining the Dark Order, and then they became a comedy act, and he should have been a loner. And then they have the DTA attitude that Austin. Yeah, I thought the whole shit with the Dark Order. I think the Dark Order going. It really sucks that the Dark Order lost their way. People might disagree with me, and by all means, let me know in the comments if you want to debate this. But the Dark Order was much better as a cult, as
Yeah.
had infomercials, and they were evil Uno. And I understand the Brody Lee thing. I don't understand why the Brody Lee thing changed their direction. They all honored Brody Lee that night, and then they could have just moved forward back the way they were, because Brody Lee had them as a heel faction, and it was ominous.
Yeah, the best way to honor Brody Lee was to keep him that way, to keep him
Yeah,
as heels, like to keep him as a cult. Even if you didn't have a new leader, even if you had someone like John Silver or Evil Uno take over, or just no leader at all,
yeah,
having them still be a cult would still benefit them in some way.
yes, I agree. So, yeah, I mean that's kind of where we went with that. But that's all we have to say about number 2 this week. Any
Number
other
one.
number 1, the number 1. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, I have a mission for everybody out there. Tune into the watch parties. Let us know what you think, because this show, it was good. I mean, it got some 9s. I gave it a 10. So I
Yes.
was feeling generous. I jumped on a 10 with this one. But
Yeah.
AEW Dynamite has been the only show to sit in number one since we started doing the power rankings on this channel. Crazy.
Yes, and I was absent for this watch party because for the first time in 2 years, I got to watch it with my family at AEW Dynamite, but it was a very good show, and, it was very solid, and I thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, we opened with Penta and CM Punk.
The crowd went wild for that. That was insane.
It was a hell of a match. It was a really solid match. Might not have been a 5-star blaze, but
No.
it was solid. Great entertainment starting the thing. I think Abrahante that he's got going on, or the Cardinal outfit he's wearing, it might be a little better to make us kind of buy. It just kind of makes it look a little silly.
Yeah. Death matches are great, used to blow off a big feud, but not every other week. But when you have a weak hardcore match like this week, it's even stupider because your top guys kill each other for me.
For meh,
Oh, for meh.
for meh.
For meh.
Right? And I agree. It was under delivered. It was a couple spots. Just don't do it. Give us some really, like, I mean, look at Penta and CM Punk. Give us a quality match. The fans splitting the cheer, Penta, Zero Mero, and then going into the CM Punk and back and forth and back and forth. I liked it. But Punk picked up the win as we expect. And Punk's talking about going after that belt. So I'm down.
I'm down for that as well, and I really hope Punk takes that. I
Mm-hmm.
really do.
Now, one of the matches that did disappoint me a little bit was the Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express against Red Dragon.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I mean, lots of action, lots of false finishes. But anyone else surprised that Jurassic Express took it?
I don't know what they see in Jurassic Express to have them hold the belts that long. Like,
Mm-hmm.
give it to like an established tag team that actually looks like they can beat everybody. You take one look at Jungle Boy who looks 15 and Luchasaurus who looks like he's never left Halloween for 30 years and be like, this is one dominant team, guys.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, no, I don't understand. And the false finishes kind of ruined it for me as well. Because Bray Wyatt was friends with Brody Lee, I think he would be the perfect replacement as the leader of the Dark Order. I think that would be the guy that Brody would be okay with. Yeah, but again, I think it's like Brody's legacy. They just don't want to just replace him.
Mhm.
Like Dark Order was like Brody's thing, so I think they're just like, nah, let's not have a new leader. Like that's why Adam wasn't a leader. That's why Eric Redbeard wasn't a leader. Like you know what I'm saying? Like those
Yep.
people. Like, even Eric Redbeard would be an alright replacement, but even then, it'd just be like, "Well, no leader."
Mhm.
Honestly, for me, because of Wyatt's friendship with Brody Lee, I think he would've been the perfect replacement for Brody as the leader. I'm sorta meh on that take. It's just like, I don't know if they could pull it off. Like, Wyatt anywhere would be fine, but
Yeah.
if I wanted to see Wyatt anywhere, it'd be on his own or with the OG Wyatt family. I don't
There you
think
go.
him especially with how much jokes as the Dark Order's become, like, I don't think Bray Wyatt would be enough for me to take the Dark Order seriously anymore.
Yes. Yeah, they got to revamp it. If anything, Wyatt can come in and be disappointed with the Dark Order, but and then try and make it better in his image or the image that Brody would want. It remains to be seen on how they're going to pull it out. But after that, we went into Sean Dean, Captain Sean Dean, and MJF. We all knew there was something up with this match booking because we knew,
Yeah, we knew
MJF was either going to
Wardlow was
win or get squashed.
we all knew Wardlow was gonna go over there, and Wardlow comes in, gets stamped by security, MJF retreats over to the stage, realizes, "Oh shit, I'm in the middle of a match," and,
Hmm.
tries to buy off the referee being like, "No,
That was good.
I'll triple your paycheck if you don't count me out," and then the ref was just like, "Nah, fam."
Huge pop to that. The whole Wardlow dressed as a security guy and smiling and then frowning and then MJF running. To me, this was booked perfectly. It made sense. MJF took a loss. And right now, the baby face is getting up and over. We've already seen MJF get over on Wardlow a couple times. I thought this whole segment was spot on, perfect. For all those old school wrestling fans out there that like to criticize modern wrestling, this was a wrestling angle, and it was done perfectly.
Yes, and it was confirmed that Wardlow is going to face the Butcher
Yes.
next week. Well, because he's still under contract with MJF, and MJF can book in Wardlow in any matches he pleases, something like that.
Yep.
Jurassic Jurassic Express is over enough, and as long as we don't go back to LOL Bucks win, I'm fine with Jurassic Express having the belts in a strong tag division. But that's the thing, if it's a strong tag division, why have a team like the Jurassic Express? Like, you have FTR there.
Mhm.
You could have them be FTR triple belts. Oh yeah, and we forgot about that. FTR came in and sort of
Yes.
went face to face with Red Dragon. So
Mhm.
we could be going for maybe a triple threat tag match between
I'm
the
down.
FTR, Jurassic Express, and Red Dragon for the Ring of
Mhm.
Honor,
Mhm.
AAA, and AEW Tag Team Championships,
All
which
the
would be
belts.
fine. All
All
the
the belts.
belts.
All
Keep
the
them all
belts.
there. Yes.
Where do we go from there? We got a trios match. Eddie Kingston, Santana and Ortiz, and Jericho Society. The Jericho Jerk Off Society was back, and they are digging in. This sucked.
Yeah, I
Eh,
didn't care for this.
it was all right.
Yeah. Who won even? Was it Jericho Appreciation?
Yeah. Well, no, I thought didn't.
I I, I don't know. I forgot about that. I just didn't care about that match enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, the Jerk Off Society won. Um, and there was a beat down. So now I believe this is leading, all roads lead to LAX. I think that's where this is going. And when I said the match sucked, it didn't. It was entertaining. I'm a big fan of Eddie Kingston, but this was just setting up further. But I thought it should have been on Wednesday when they start introducing, but because we've already seen the beat down of these guys. So you just kind of, you're beating a dead horse or a dead Eddie at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yep, that was the thing to set up the LAX versus Jericho Appreciation Society, I guess.
Yes. Now, some people were disappointed or frustrated with the fact that Marina Shafir makes her debut against Sky Blue. They get 2.5 minutes,
Yeah, it was
and people
underwhelming.
they could have given a bit of a better shine on the ladies, a bit more time for the ladies to compete. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Will.
Well, we all knew Marina Shafir is going to lose with Jade Cargill anyway.
Mhm.
So, there's no point. They're setting up that 30-0.
That's
So,
it. And then we had a tag match I actually really liked. Keith Lee Swerve against Team Taz. I thought this went really well.
yeah, and seeing Keith and Swerve together, a team that I never thought we'd see, but a team that I love to see against the hometown hero Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, and I didn't mind this at all. I like this match.
Mm-hmm. But no, I like the match. I like the rivalry. We were in New Orleans, so Ricky Starks was over as hell. It was really confusing because everything he did got a pop. But yeah, man, it was good.
Yeah, and what happened next there?
We got the main event, and maybe the
Yeah.
main event, the most talked about moment of the week, more than anything else. And for me, this is what put this into. I've never given out a 10 out of 10 on a weekly show. So I broke my own rule because, as much as sometimes the New Japan style can be a little bit slow, we got Joe and Minoru Suzuki toe to toe in that ring. And these men slapped the piss out of each other, buddy.
Yeah, they went chop, chop, chop all day long for the
Didn't
Ring of Honor
stop.
Television Championship. And Joe is the new Ring of Honor World Television Champion. And I love it.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. We got Joe with the brand new belt, around his waist. I'm sure he's held it before, though I can't confirm that off the top of my head.
Nope, this
But
is his first reign. I looked it up on Wikipedia of all places.
yes, Will, checking our sources. I like it. So it's his first reign as ROH TV title. It's amazing that we watched Suzuki last night compete against Ishii during the Windy City Riot, and they slapped the shit out of each other. Wednesday night, he was slapping the shit out of Samoa Joe. The weekend before that, he was slapping the shit out of Effie and Moxley. This man's chest must be made of iron.
Yeah, imagine the paychecks he's getting. He's in like every show. He just loves to fight. And then after that, we've had like a bit of a lights out, and it's like, wait a minute, what the hell is this, right? Oh
Yes,
no. Well, actually, first we've had Jay Lethal, and it's like, Joe, we have a little bit of a present, and it's just
yes.
like a middle finger, and then
The finger in the box did make me chuckle a little bit.
yeah, I loved that. And then the lights out, and then boom, there's Big Man Singh out there.
Yeah, the newest giant on the wrestling scene, former NBA star. I wouldn't say star,
The
NBA
star.
somebody. That's funny. Effie versus Austin Theory should happen. Fair enough, Surf. I don't know about that one, but yeah, I mean the match was great. The only thing that took away from it was the ending. I thought the whole introducing Satnam Singh at the very end was like, all right, who cares? All right,
Yeah, I didn't really care for that. Like the lights out, you could have brought like anyone else with that lights out, and that just ruined all hype.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they could have just left this moment alone and we could have built it somewhere else. But it is what it is. Wasn't enough for me to change my mind. It still is the number one show this week. Folks, if you're watching live or watching recorded, let us know what your rankings are. Let us know what you think. That was our fan votes. That was our opinion.
Yes.
And Dynamite, the undisputed champion of the power rankings at this point, my friend.
Yes, and God knows when that will happen. Like when it will happen that AEW Dynamite is number 2 or hell, even number 6. I don't think there will be any chance that that will happen.
I'm looking forward to it. I really do want to see somebody beat them because that generally means that hopefully it's a week where they had a really good show and someone else had a much better show. That's the hope. Not that they had a
Satnam
shit show.
Singh was better in Battle of the Belts. I did not watch Battle of the Belts because I couldn't fucking find the stream. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was a little better.
I seen like pictures of what he did, and he was pretty all right in that. So
Yeah,
maybe he'll grow on us.
we'll see. I mean, there's definitely an angle, but if nothing else, I mean, you're getting marks for me for having Samoa Joe actively wrestling, actively involved. I don't know where this whole storyline with Lethal and Dutt and Singh go, but we'll find out. We'll find out for sure.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Stone Cold walking through memory lane. I think that was last week.
Last week's episode.
Yeah, last week's episode with Chris and KJ with Stone Cold's best moments, or at least some of them anyway. And so yeah, that's out now. Remember, it's every second week. So this Saturday, oh no, next Sunday, I should say, the Wrasslin Down Memory Lane will be
Triple
back
H.
with Triple H. Yes, to celebrate his career, and of course tomorrow, obviously, Raw watch party every damn Monday for 3 hours. So be sure to watch that, as well as watch parties every other day throughout the week. And then, of course, the weekends are original content. Saturday, Let's Rumble. Thursday, actually, with the tier lists, we all agreed upon WWE stars heading to AEW. So we'll compare their WWE careers to their AEW careers and see how much they've improved or declined ever since then. And then, of course, Wrestling Down Memory Lane. And yeah, of course, the news updates with the Crimson Chronicle as well.
The Crimson Chronicle will be here for those news updates. That's amazing, Will. Like Will just said, we have so much content coming your way, folks. Like, subscribe, tell everybody you know we are here. I just hope Tony Khan knows what he's doing with the tall giant. We'll find out if Tony Khan can handle all this. A lot of speculation. Is Tony going to be able to handle everything he's taking on? I think his infrastructure has to be better, but we will find out.
Thank you for
Thomas,
the weekly wrap up power ranking. Always good to catch up as I can't watch during the week. Well, I don't know why you can't watch, but you're welcome for the wrap up. So we're always here to help.
yeah, they've had a couple. But yeah, no, I believe Thomas's work stops him from showing up during the week. So
Understandable.
we fill him in on Sundays and let him know what he missed. But that's it, folks. Have a wonderful Easter. If you're getting with family or hanging out, have fun, smile. Life is short.
Yes,
Keep it sweet. And
tomorrow's no guarantee. So
that's
just
it.
keep on going.
So happy holidays to all my loved ones and family that happen to peek into this video, which isn't as many as it should be. Ha ha. We love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the show. And to everyone else, happy Easter. See you on the flip side.
Thank you.
There you go.